Hi there, and welcome to the Nova Scotia Kitchens podcast. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Sherry Graham, and in each episode I take you along with me as I visit friends old and new in their Nova Scotia kitchens, and we make one of their favorite everyday recipes together. You can see pictures from my visits and print the recipes at novascotiakitchens.com, where you can also subscribe to posts by email. I am so glad that you're joining in, and thanks for listening. Enjoy the show. In today's episode, I visit my friend Vicky at her rustic, perfect little tea house on her property in Clare. Clare is a coastal French-Acadian area between Digby and Yarmouth with a really rich cultural heritage and plenty of reasons to visit. There's the Université Sainte-Anne, there's a really fantastic community playground, one of my favorite coffee shops, Sip, is in Metegan, and there's an excellent shoe selection at the Clarence Mart in Saulniéville, which oddly enough is both a grocery store and a shoe and clothing store, and a craft store, and a gift shop. It has just about everything you could ever need. And there's also, of course, a few Frenchies thrift stores. It is where Frenchies began, and plenty more. So Fring Frang, the recipe Vicky is sharing with us today, is a name for this potato dish, and the name is unique to Clare. There's one other thing I would like to mention. You're going to hear the lovely sounds of a warm, cozy, crackling wood stove in the background. Vicky has this great little wood stove where she was cooking le Fring Frang, and because the tea house is so small, you can hear this nice cozy fire. So don't think that there's anything wrong with your headphones. It is just the coziness of a fire. Enjoy.
Fring Frang.
Yeah.
That's the only word I know about what it is, but up until about 2 years ago, I made them like my mom.
Yeah.
And it was just grated. It's grated, you'll see, but it's grated potatoes, and I just take them and put them in the frying pan.
Yeah.
And then as they cooked, you just have your spatula and you turn them there, and it was like...
So it's all kind of loose.
Loose.
The way your mom makes it. Okay.
Yes. And then a couple of years ago, a former work colleague, a young guy, he said, oh, the way I make them, it's a nice crust all over. Because that's the challenge, you always want to have a crust. Wants. And he said, the way I put them in the frying pan, and when they're brown underneath, you take a plate and you flip it on there, and then you slide it back in. So then it makes like a galette, like that.
Yeah.
So, and while I had him there, I said, what's the history of the Fring Frang? Is it only us Acadians in Clare? Or he said, well, he didn't really know the history of the Fring Frang.
Yeah.
But he said, they make a potato galette in France, and his father was from France, which is similar to that.
I see.
But they call it a galette. And
as opposed to a galette, like a dessert pastry.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just
they call it a potato galette. Because I think in France, anything that resembles
that
like
shape kind of is a...
they call it a galette.
Okay, yeah.
And then we were talking, and he said, like the latkes, the potato.
Yeah.
Is that how we pronounce it? Latkes?
Yeah.
So it's the grated potatoes are similar to that. You'll see when I make them, but they just take them little buttons. They probably put stuff in it, maybe flour or something, and they make little tiny ones. So it would be. So we're not the only ones. I think the Germans do something.
Well, I was going
to
say at Charlotte Lane in Shelburne, they have a Swiss potato roasty, which Ingrid loves to order, and it looks much like that. Like it's a larger, softer.
Yeah.
They serve theirs with a fried egg on top. But I don't think they put, I don't know what they put in, if they put, do you have egg in yours too?
No.
Oh, I think theirs might have egg to kind of bind it together, and they may put spices or...
Right. So this here for us, all the Acadians that I know that make it, it's very plain. It's not healthy, because you need real oil.
Yeah.
You have to put oil on the bottom of your frying pan, and then you have grated potatoes and grated onion.
Yeah.
You put that in your front and salt and pepper, and that's it.
Nice.
That is it. That's it. Some people put maybe a can of clams in it.
Okay.
That our comfort food for Dave and I, it's plain like that.
Yeah.
Like I just explained.
What do you put? Do you put anything on it when you serve it?
No,
or is it
just like that. We serve it always with homemade pickle.
Oh yes.
Bread and butter pickle.
Yes.
And but you can dump in there. I think a few times my mom had put a can of corned beef.
Okay,
corned beef stuff there.
So around here, do most people here then make it loose? Or
yes.
Is it just okay?
No.
So it's usually just kind of a crispy fried potato.
99% of the people probably do it loose, and they turn a little, scoop at a time.
Yeah.
But it ends up all mushy all together. So, but the only difference is that you have more crust.
Yeah.
Underneath, well, today I don't know how, the magic of television, but I have my everything here. I have an extra frying pan, but we built the tea house around the stove.
Oh, did you?
We have to have the stove first, and then.
This is such a sweet little spot. I love it so much.
And it's my she shed, but anyway, finally we agreed on a name. Well, I figured out a name. It's I'm gonna call it the chicken tea house. Chick tea, because it's a chick shed.
Yeah. Oh, that's cute.
And a tea house and chicken, but it's chick and tea.
Oh, chicken tea.
So they said, that's pretty original. You gotta stoke the fire. Oil in the frying pan. And it's not olive oil, it has to be just a vegetable oil.
Okay. So you didn't use butter?
No, butter would burn.
Yeah.
But I know my mom quite a few times, because there wasn't convenience then, she put like shortening.
Oh yeah.
Shortening that you make this cookies, or she'd melt that. That worked. And but I just use like a vegetable oil, or because I always have it.
Yeah.
So you put so it covers the bottom, because you want it to fry, or not deep fry, but almost.
Yeah. Nice and crusty.
Nice and crusty. So you have oil in there, and then you peel your potatoes, whatever amount you want.
Yeah.
Dave and I can eat a lot, so. And then you need an onion, for sure, in the mix. This is a very simple dish. It's kind of the same ingredients as rocky pie.
That's what I was thinking. Well, so of course, as soon as you mentioned grated potatoes.
But it's a bigger grate, and you don't put meat. So you peel your onion. So you have your potato.
Oh, I love your old-fashioned grater too. That's so cute.
That was my mom's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she gave it to me. And when she, before she passed away, she gave me a lot of her stuff. Then, after your potatoes are clean, and so you need, a grater, or a grate or grater, with big holes.
Yeah.
Like that. And all you do, you grate your potato. And once in a while I switch, so the onion gets grated.
Mixed right in.
Yes. And so you stop, you make one potato and then a little bit of the onion. It goes in, and then you take your potato.
I'm willing to bet this will be the simplest recipe of all the ones that
the
fewest ingredients.
The fewest ingredients. I mean, even the cookies, or they will have more. But this is our winter comfort food. So that's, you alternate, you grate a potato, then you grate some onion, not like you just use one onion, but you grate that.
Yeah.
So you just put that in your frying pan, the oil.
And you don't add salt or pepper?
I add salt and pepper for it to cook.
Yeah.
You add salt and pepper on top. That. whatever amount you want. There's no recipe, I don't think, for this. I've never seen it in the book. Salt and pepper, and I put a cover on.
So
I put a cover on top. Oh, I'll put this one. So it kind of, because on an electric stove, this is a wood stove, so it would be kind of tricky, but you can control your heat. You cook it like medium, not high, because you want the potato to cook, so that's why I put a cover on top, so it kind of steams. Yeah. But the oil's gonna crisp up the crust. Yeah. But I always put a cover, and it's kind of it steams the potatoes. Yeah. But you kind of want it to cook a little bit slow, not too. Yeah. But it should only take about 30 minutes, like for a medium-sized pan. Yeah. Probably 30 minutes to 45 minutes on a slow cook. Okay. And do you flip it part way? Yes. When I take my spatula and I lift the side and I see that it's nice and brown underneath, that's when you could, if you do it like I did it before 2 years ago, you just start like... Right. Just kind of scrape it. You'd scrape the crust as much as you can, and you'd flip that, and and that. So, and then when you serve it, you just scoop some. So now with the way I do it, when I see it's brown underneath, I do my thing with the big plate. I put it on top, I flip it, and then I slide it back in. Like you're gonna see in a minute. Yeah.
So, does anybody know where the name came from?
No. Sebastian, he's the guy that I taught. He showed me how to do it, like the galette. Yeah. And I said, do you know where the name is? He said, no. Everybody calls them Fring Frang. Even restaurants here in Clare, they don't have that. They have beignet. There's also some, I don't know how, the beignet. That's more like a roppy pie consistency.
Oh, okay.
And so you have to grate like
more finely.
And then you have to put flour in it, and you make it's little pancakes of it.
Oh, okay.
It's more time consuming. This is more, you can, that's it, what you saw there, and it will cook, and then you'd flip it. And, but no, Fring Frang, I tried to, after you asked, and I thought, okay, I better find out. And I got a hold of the Centre Acadien at the university, the center there.
Oh, wow, you really did your research.
And I said to the girl, do you know where Fring Frang, who named that? And she said, no, you're not the first person to ask that, but no.
Oh, funny.
We don't know where Fring Frang. Just the Fring Frang.
It's kind of nonsense words.
Really, it is. Like, if they didn't know, we don't know what we're going to call that. We'll call it Fring Frang.
It works.
But it's good. We like it. I mean, but I grew up on it, so... I love it. So it would cook 30 minutes like that. The fry, you can't be in a hurry because you can't fry too fast because it will stick on the bottom. Yeah. So, but, and then all our utensils.
Oh, it smells so good.
Yeah, it does. So you're gonna have some?
Yeah. Yes, please.
We're eating.
I took a little tiny lunch, and then I was like, oh, I hope this is.
There'll
be some for me to have.
Well, yes.
And so I'm assuming you make your bread and butter pickles.
Yes.
They're beautiful.
Yes.
So I'm thinking my boys would want ketchup with this.
Okay,
That's what they would want.
Yeah, ketchup. And some people put, it's cooked. I wasn't sure. Yeah. I'm putting my finger in there. Some people put molasses. They treat it like
roppy pie.
Like roppy pie.
Thank you. Oh, you make dessert?
Yeah. Well, that's another of our comfort, blueberry fungi. We call it fungi. Yeah. Some people call it grunt or.
And so you.
And I don't have a recipe. It's just a lot of my stuff. I don't have recipes.
Not a real recipe. Would you mind just explaining your
your
blueberry non-recipe?
My non-recipe? Yeah, well, and it's and for the Fring Frang, it's the potatoes we grew in our garden. And the onion, well, it wasn't because we didn't have enough.
I think that's okay.
And and the blueberry fungi, that's what we call it. It's our blueberries from our patch from frozen. I have blueberry, raspberry, strawberry, blackberry. So I have pickle.
So do you just have them on the side?
On the side.
Okay.
On the side. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, people put they treat it like raw pie. They would put molasses or butter. Yeah, just butter or ketchup.
It's good. Like I like the potato gets kind of like creamy in a way that you wouldn't expect, sort of.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it, but it's good.
All right, so the blueberry fungi is just blueberries, sugar, and a little bit of water, so it starts as a liquid, and then you boil that.
Yeah, and you just get in a little pot.
And you boil until the blueberries are kind of breaking. Yeah. And I just mix up anything like dumpling recipe.
I've never made dumplings.
No.
I've never made a blueberry fungi.
No.
So explain a little more.
It's dumplings are just flour, butter. What else is in there? Baking powder, a little bit of salt, and an egg and milk. Okay. Maybe a cup, or you mix that, and then you pour that in the flour mixture, and you mix that around. It's kind of sticky, not liquidy, but sticky. And you dump that as little dumplings on top of your blueberry mixture that's simmering. And when you kind of pick at the dumplings and you see they're done, which doesn't take long, it's ready.
That's nice.
That's dumplings.
That's pretty easy. How long would it take for them to cook through-ish?
The dumplings? No, 10 minutes.
Okay.
If you make them tiny like that. Yeah. And you don't want it to boil too hard because you don't want your blueberry stuff to stick on the bottom. But now that I'm retired, I'm not in a rush that much, so I can cook slower. Yeah. It's like the slow cooking moment
slow food.
In Europe. Yeah. But, 10, 15 minutes. It's cooked through and through, and you serve that. You scoop a few dumplings and some of the blueberry stuff on top. You can serve it with whipped cream. Don't have that here, but in the house we do. Oh. So, that's a little bit of a comfort dessert.
My mom used to have those same visionware pots when I was a kid.
It's the only one I have left.
That's what happened to hers.
It was the double boiler one. The one that went inside. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what happened. It cracked.
I don't know whoever thought glass cookware was a good idea. But everybody had them.
Oh yes, it was the in thing. Like what, in the 80s or? But I had the set. It was the double boiler. So I love. But I use that one there, especially to cook stuff like that. I can see it through.
And I guess you can put them. You put them right from the stove top into the oven, probably, because they didn't have. Because a lot of the other 80s cookware I remember was with really thin stainless or aluminum stuff with a plastic handle, so you wouldn't have been able to put that in the oven. So you could, but really good.
Was it good? There's more.
It was really good. So good.
Is it?
The blueberries are like you can tell that they're not grocery store.
Right. Yeah, they're from right there.
Yeah.
So we just like eating. It's easy. You just throw stuff in a pot and you have dessert.
So good. Thank you.
Thanks so much to Vicky for sharing her recipe and her time with me. Thanks to Julian Smith for composing and performing the theme music, and to Adam Graham for help with audio editing and for generally being awesome. And of course, thanks so much to you for listening. You can follow along on Instagram and Facebook at Nova Scotia Kitchens, and see some gorgeous pictures of Vicky's tea house at novascotiakitchens.com. Until next time!